Good morning all. In this video today we're going to be doing repairs to the Jeep. This is actually over a couple different days. So we got the Jam Blue Moons on YouTube on the Jeep. We got 05 Grand Cherokee Laredo, and it's the 3.7 liter V6. This video we're going to be doing the oxygen sensors on one side, and then going to be doing a rear hub assembly. And I actually end up having to redo the rear hub assembly. So stay tuned, hit that like, subscribe, and share it out if you know people that have the 05 Grand Cherokee Laredos. This one has over 304,000 miles on the motor. So make sure you stay tuned, because all of this maintenance we do to it regularly and fixes regularly. We don't have to do any of it, but we just do it to keep it up and keep ahead of anything that could go wrong. And we're always doing just little repairs that we want to do, not that we even have to do to it. So it's great vehicles to have for get high mileage out of them. Better than those little Mazda 3s that they say can go to 160 to 190,000 miles on the odometer before having a big repair of a motor or transmission. This one's 303,000 miles. We haven't had to do any of that yet, because we put the motor that's in it had more miles than what the odometer has on it in this thing, and that motor's still going good. And since we maintain it very well, it's going better than the people that had this thing before that blew a motor at 197,000. So all within how you maintain it and take care of it. But I'll show you some of the little clips of me doing some work on it. Here we go. Well, getting ready, more Jeep repairs. Got sensor oxygen sensors, O2 sensors. Got 4 of them in here, and got rear hub assemblies from Auto Shack right there, and hub bearing assemblies, and they look like this. And just a second here when I can get it out of the box. Right there. Did the front ones. Now gonna be doing, I got a set of them for the back. This side is throwing a code for the rear speed sensor and ABS is not working correctly, so I got those. And I got another set of speed sensors here for this side, because it says rear right side, and it's throwing Cadillac converter codes for the front, or for the driver side. So I gotta change the O2 sensors in there, because I did changed them in the passenger side when I did that one last, which is what I just recently did. So now I'm gonna change the O2 sensors in the driver side today as well, which will not take long at all with that. And that's actually gonna be what I start with. And I got this hub assembly that I plan on trying to get done today, and then tomorrow I'll do the driver side. So let's get to it, and I'll show you along the way, because first I gotta get the tire off, then I gotta get the rotor and the brake caliper, all of that off, and then take it all apart, and I'll show you what it's going to look like when it's apart. Now this one is off from, this is the brake caliper housing. There's the hub assembly. It goes to right there and connects there. Emergency brake shoes go along there on the outside. So I'm hoping I can get that off, the hub assembly off from there, right there, without having to take the shoes off, because that is a pain to do, because it sets through like that, and all of that ring right there is actually to the hub assembly. So I gotta get that whole section through the bracket for holding the brake caliper and brake pads, housing bracket there, and the dust shield like that, and through where the emergency brakes shoes are, hopefully not having to take any of the emergency brake shoes off as well. But I gotta do all of that to get that off from our Jeep back there, because I already did the front ones, but through here I can be able to get to the oxygen, the O2 sensor right through there, and then right underneath through there is the other one. But I could get the upper and lower O2 sensors off through here, that I'll show you through the hood here in a second. So right down there, that's where the exhaust goes to the manifold. You can see right behind it there, right there, is the oxygen sensor that I need to get for the top. And then down underneath, it wraps around to across to go to the other one that I'll show you as well in a second. All right, so there's the where it comes down from up there for the first O2 sensor, comes across here, and right in there is the second O2 sensor, and then there's O2 sensors on this side. So I gotta get the O2 sensor that is actually right there. Can kind of see it there coming off. I gotta get that one off as well and change it out, and then that will be done for those, and plug the new ones in. But you can see underneath here does not look bad at all. Even the rocker panels with the pinch weld actually looks really good underneath here for the Jeep. And we did a muffler. Yes, the exhaust is like pieced together and stuff, especially over here. That thing that's sticking down is for a hanger. I just got to cut it off, but don't really want to either at the moment. So, and there's clamps there. Yes, there's a bunch of clamps everywhere and stuff, but doing it without a welder to try and do it myself without a welder. And you can see under there, yes, there's rust, but everything's still all good under there. I mean, the ball joints, everything's still good. The CV axle's still good up in there. Everything has still been doing really good. So can't complain. It's all doing really well, and I've been doing a lot of work to it to keep everything up really good on it and keep it so it's running as well as can be. And back there's some more clamps back in there for the exhaust. But we're going to be doing I did the rear drive shaft, I did the front drive shaft, I've done the muffler, done the catalytic converters, I've done brake pads, rotors, and I gotta do brake calipers. But you can see there's Jeep has very good for 204,000 miles on the odometer on this one. And then it's an 05 Grand Cherokee Laredo, but for 204,000 miles and over on the odometer, and the motor having 100,000 more miles than that on it, it is really good condition. So that's what working on today, is doing all that. Gonna do the O2 sensors first, like I said, then gonna get that rear hub assembly done on the passenger side, because it's giving a code for all O2 sensors, the PO420 and the PO430, which is the bank one on PO420, which is driver's side upper O2 sensor, or just driver's side upper and lower, it says. But then it's also giving ABS and traction control codes because of the speed sensor, that an ABS sensor that's back here. It is giving a ABS and speed sensor code for up here, because there is no tire pressure monitor sensor right there in that tire. So I've been working on trying to get that, which in actuality, I have been working on this. Took the speed sensor off from another tire, put it on this one rim and put it on this one right there. But it's leaking air that it's still flat. Even with bead sealer on it, it's still flat. So it's the rubber seal in here I gotta replace, and then that one will hold air, and I could put this one on the front passenger side so then it has the sensor on it and be able to not have that. That will kick the ABS light, traction control, and tire pressure indicator comes up. And it's been sunny and cloudy, and then it was snowing and freezing rain just a little bit ago at the same time. So the sun goes away and then it gets cold and then it comes back out and it gets warm. So Mandy's been out doing some planting and I'm starting to work on this now. So let's get to it. All right, I got the new one of the LBD2, the oxygen sensor in there. I did open up in there through that because there's a little opening in there that can be able to get through to be able to see in there. But I mainly went up through right there, got to it like that, and unplugged it and all of that and put that one in. Now I gotta do the one over there, so I'm gonna go to that side, lift that side, or actually I might just leave it the way it is and go through, but I need to get an extension so I can be able to reach up in there to it so I can break it loose and then pull it out and put the new one in. So there's one oxygen sensor done, and I keep bumping into the jack handle, but let's get the extension. Even though I already did the hub assembly on this side, I'm taking the tire back off and taking the hub assembly off because the hub assembly that I put on here did not have the O-ring gasket to seal it. So, and come to find out, it's supposed to be there, but I'm going to end up using the old O-ring gasket after cleaning it and everything, and then I'm going to use some silicone, ultra black silicone gasket maker between that or some high temp silicone gasket maker as well around the hub assembly. So I'll show you after I get the tire off where to take the 4 bolts out to get the whole hub assembly and everything. I'm not taking the rotor, the brake assembly and everything else off. I'm just taking the whole hub assembly out and then putting that on and putting it right back in. Then I gotta go underneath, and I got this tube here that is on the SAE 75 140 gear oil, full synthetic, that I'm going to be putting on that as well. And I got 2 containers because it's been leaking ever since I did the hub assembly. So I'll show you more as I go. Got the tire off. Now I just got to take that bolt, and, well, not bolt, but the nuts off. 1, 2, 3, and number 4 is down there, right there. And take those off so all of this will slide out. To change the hub assembly, you gotta take the brake caliper off, the rotor off, and I actually took the hub assembly out through all of that instead of taking it all off. But you gotta take those bolts out, those nuts out, which are studs. So I'm gonna work on getting those out real quick next, and then I'll show you when I get those out. And I got a catch pan for the gear oil that will drip, and I got brake clean that I'm going to clean it off, and then I'm going to I found another O-ring that will actually is in better shape than the other one I was going to put on. This is the one that came off from the old hub assembly, and after that I'll put that on. I'll put some gasket maker on the outside, not with the O-ring, but in between where it doesn't spin or nothing, away from the O-ring, so then it will seal properly. And I'll show you as I go. Alright, looks the same now that I put it back on, but took those bolts out. They actually have a torque spec to 96 to 100 foot-pounds of pressure. And so I got those torqued down. You do cross, so you do this one, the lower on this side, then you go to this one, and then the upper on this side. So you crisscross as much as you can. I popped it out. I put the O-ring on and popped it back in. I had to tighten it down to get it to go back together, but got it back on there with the O-ring, and I put some black RTV gasket maker in between around there, axle and where it meets, so that it will be definitely sealed. Now I just got to put the tire back on, which is right here. I was using as a little table, so I'll do that next.